There are moments in life when the people we look up to the most can suddenly feel like strangers. For so many fans, Blake Lively has been more than an actress. She has been a symbol of grace, of beauty, of love, and of strength. People have followed her journey from the bright lights of Gossip Girl to the red carpets of Hollywood, and they believed in the story she shared with the world. She became an inspiration for young women, for dreamers, for families who saw her as proof that fame could exist without scandal. But imagine the heartbreak when that image is shaken. Imagine building trust in someone for years, only to hear a voice as loud as Perez Hilton claim that Blake Lively has been caught in a lie. The shock is not just about the story, it is about what it means for everyone who placed their faith in her. It is about the feeling that maybe perfection is only an illusion. Perez Hilton has always been a name that brings both fear and fascination. He has made a career out of exposing celebrities, tearing down the walls they build around their private lives. And now, his spotlight has turned to Blake Lively. Suddenly, whispers become headlines, and headlines become storms. The internet begins to burn with questions. Did Blake lie? Did she hide something from the people who loved her image so deeply? The emotions of fans cannot be ignored. Some feel anger, some feel confusion, some even feel denial because they do not want to believe that their idol could ever deceive them. And yet, the story grows louder. It spreads across social media, where every comment, every post, every reaction adds more fuel to the fire. The perfect image of Blake Lively begins to blur, leaving millions to wonder what is real and what is not. This is not just about celebrity gossip. This is about the human heart. It is about trust and betrayal. It is about how fragile a reputation can be in a world where one rumor can shake the ground beneath someone who seems untouchable. And it is about us, the audience, who must decide whether we will keep believing in the image we loved or face the possibility that we never truly knew the truth. So, as we begin this journey, remember, this is not just Blake Lively's story. It is our story, too. It is about the bond between stars and the people who adore them, and about how quickly that bond can break when the word exposed enters the conversation. Blake Lively was not just another actress chasing fame. She was born into a world where acting was in her blood. Her father, Ernie Lively, was an actor. Her mother, Elaine, worked in the entertainment industry. She grew up in Los Angeles, where cameras, lights, and sets were as normal as school and play dates. From the very beginning, Blake was surrounded by the dream factory called Hollywood. But what made Blake different was not only her background, it was her spirit. She had a light inside her that people noticed even before she was famous. She carried herself with a mix of innocence and confidence that made others feel drawn to her. As a child, she would watch her parents on set, and instead of being intimidated, she became fascinated. She saw how characters were created, how emotions were shared, and how her performance could move hearts. And deep inside her, she began to believe that she too could do the same. Her breakthrough came with the film Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants in 2005. She was just 17, and yet her performance carried a maturity and authenticity that touched audiences. She was not pretending, she was living her character. And suddenly, people realized that a new star was on the rise. But her true destiny revealed itself when she landed the role of Serena van der Woodsen in Gossip Girl. That show became a cultural wave that defined an entire generation. The storylines of privilege, fashion, love, and betrayal drew millions of fans across the world. And in the center of it all was Blake Lively. She became the face of glamour, of style, of youth and freedom. To many, she was not just Serena. She was a role model, a symbol of beauty and grace. Hollywood quickly realized that Blake Lively was more than a television star. She moved into films like The Town, directed by Ben Affleck, where she showed depth and raw emotion. She proved she could play more than the Golden Girl. She could play complex, broken characters too. She took on Oliver Stone's Savages and other films that demanded intensity and range. With every role, she built her career brick by brick. Yet, what made Blake Lively stand apart was not only her acting, but her image. She cultivated a public persona of elegance and kindness. She was known for her breathtaking fashion moments on the red carpet. She was celebrated for her warmth in interviews. She created a brand that seemed untouched by the scandals that swallowed so many other celebrities. And then came Ryan Reynolds. The two became one of Hollywood's most beloved couples. Their playful humor, their devotion to their children, and their ability to stay grounded despite fame made them a dream pairing. Fans adored their love story, and together they built an image of a perfect family that balanced glamour with realness. Blake seemed untouchable. She was living the dream. She had success, beauty, love, and respect in an industry that often destroys those very things. For years, her story looked flawless, and that is why when Perez Hilton spoke, the shock was so strong. Fans who admired her could not understand how someone so polished, so perfect, so admired could suddenly be accused of something as human and messy as a lie. This was not just about Blake as an actress anymore. It was about Blake as a symbol. And when symbols have shaken, the world pays attention. To understand why Perez Hilton pointing a finger at Blake Lively mattered so much, we must first understand who Perez Hilton really is. For more than a decade, his name has echoed across Hollywood like both a warning and a weapon. He has built his career on uncovering secrets, on shining light into corners celebrities wanted to keep hidden, and on turning whispers into headlines that the entire world could not ignore. Perez Hilton was not born into fame like Blake. He created it for himself. He was a blogger in the early days of the internet when celebrity culture was beginning to explode beyond magazines and television. He realized that people craved raw gossip. They didn't just want polished interviews or red carpet smiles. They wanted the unfiltered truth, or at least the promise of it. And Perez gave it to them. His blog became infamous because it was bold, cruel, and addictive. He would post stories about celebrities without hesitation. He would draw doodles on their photos. He would mock them, praise them,
attack them, expose them. He became the gossip king, someone who could make or break reputations with a single post. His name was both feared and hated, yet at the same time, millions of people clicked on his site every single day. For many celebrities, Perez Hilton was their worst nightmare. He thrived on scandal. He thrived on exposing weakness. He thrived on bringing the private into the public. And no matter how many lawsuits or angry statements came his way, he continued. He grew stronger with every controversy. He turned himself into a brand. But time changed things. The internet evolved. Social media gave celebrities their own voices. Fans could hear directly from stars instead of through blogs. Yet still, Perez Hilton remained part of the conversation. His reputation as a gossip hunter was already cemented. When he spoke, people still listened. Some thought of him as a villain, others as a truth teller, but no one could deny his impact. And that is why when Perez Hilton turned his attention to Blake Lively, it struck so deeply. Blake had always been careful about her image. She had avoided the scandals that many of her peers had fallen into. She was respected, admired, and loved. Her story seemed almost perfect. And suddenly, here came Perez Hilton with a claim that she was caught in a lie.
It was like fire meeting gasoline. The gossip machine was running again. Perez Hilton did not need to prove much. His history of making noise was enough to start conversations. The moment he said Blake Lively was not what she seemed, the internet erupted. Some defended her. Some doubted her. Some simply wanted to watch the drama unfold. Perez Hilton thrives on that chaos. He knows that in the world of celebrity culture, even doubt can be destructive. Even if the truth is never fully revealed, the suggestion alone is enough to plant seeds. And once planted, those seeds grow on their own across social media, across fan pages, across headlines. For Blake, this was dangerous. Perez Hilton had built a career out of creating storms, and now she was at the center of one. His claim was not just words, it was power. And in the fragile world of Hollywood, image power can decide everything. The world of celebrities is often painted in bright colors, but behind the curtains, shadows always exist. Fans are drawn to the sparkle of red carpets and glamorous photos, yet the truth is that every detail of a star's life is carefully managed, controlled, and sometimes even hidden. Blake Lively was no exception. She had built her image with precision. She shared pieces of her life, but never too much. She gave interviews with charm and elegance, but always on her own terms. And that balance created trust. So when Perez Hilton stepped forward and claimed that Blake Lively had been caught in a lie, it felt like a thunderclap against the clear sky. People asked themselves, what lie, what secrets could possibly exist in the life of someone so seemingly perfect? The details were not laid out clearly. Perez Hilton never needed to give a complete picture. His strength was in planting the seed of doubt. Some whispered that the lie was about her carefully crafted image, about the way she presented herself as flawless and untouchable. Others believed it was about her past, that maybe there were moments Blake wanted to bury, moments that did not align with the golden narrative she showed the world. And some thought it was about her family life, her marriage, her story of love that seemed too perfect to be real. The internet did what it always does. It filled the silence with speculation. Hashtags began to spread across social media. Platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram were suddenly alive with fans debating whether Blake Lively truly lied or whether Perez Hilton was once again stirring trouble for attention. Some defended her with passion. They said she had worked too hard to be torn down by gossip. Others said, maybe Perez was right. Maybe the perfection of Blake Lively was always a performance. What made this moment so powerful was not the details, but the emotions. The alleged lie became a mirror for fans. It forced them to question how much of celebrity culture they believed, how much of what they saw was truth and how much was illusion. If Blake Lively could be accused of hiding something, then who among the stars was truly real? The pain was not in the possibility that Blake had lied. The pain was in the betrayal. Fans felt that if even she could not be trusted, then perhaps no one could. That doubt spread like wildfire. And it did not matter whether the alleged lie was large or small. In the world of celebrity, one crack in the image can be enough to shake the entire foundation. For Blake, this was more than gossip. This was her reputation, her career, her family, her identity being questioned in front of millions. It was not just about what Perez said, it was about the echo that followed him, the echo that turned whispers into storms and storms into headlines. The alleged lie became a story, not because it was proven, but because it was believed. And in the world of fame, belief is often more powerful than truth. When Perez Hilton spoke the words, "Blake Lively exposed," the internet lit up like wildfire. For some people, it was pure disbelief. They refused to accept that the actress who had inspired them could be anything less than honest. For others, it was excitement because drama in Hollywood always draws attention. And for a small but loud group, it was anger because they felt betrayed. Fans flooded social media with posts that carried heartbreak. Some wrote about how Blake had been their role model for years and how it hurt to think she might have lied. Others defended her with fierce loyalty, saying Perez Hilton was only trying to tear down another celebrity for his own game. Some pleaded for the truth, while others demanded proof. But the louder the conversation became, the more it seemed that facts no longer mattered. The reaction itself had become the story. Mainstream media could not stay silent. Gossip outlets ran headlines